Georgia. It's the Derek Luna Show. This week, Hotel Coffee with Joe Barnhold. Plus, we go to a Braves game. But now, he's ordering his eggs over sleazy. It's Derek Luna. Yes, that's correct. I'm here in and amongst the traffic here at the Landmark Diner, my bad. Landmark Diner in Atlanta, Georgia. The Landmark Diner is connected to the Punchline Comedy Club, which is where we were at all this week. The Punchline Comedy Club in Atlanta, Georgia. Fantastic comedy club. We finished our week here. And then I didn't really have a whole lot going on until I headed to Myrtle Beach for next weekend. So I decided to just hang out here and basically live in this diner for, like 48 hours until a Braves game tonight on Monday night. So yeah, it's been a weird couple of days, a great weekend of comedy. I burned the stage down Friday night, had some awesome sets, hung out with some old friends. Katie Still made it out, friend of the show. Here it is, the back entrance to the Punchline right there. And then also sat down with Joe Barnhold, who's a relatively new comic. I've seen him out at a couple of the satellites, and he's a relatively new comic with a background in music. So I thought it'd be interesting, while I had him as a captive audience this week, to sit down and have a little hotel coffee with Joe Barnhold. So you'll get a chance to check that out, and hopefully we'll have some clips from the Braves game. It's my first baseball game of the season, so I'm excited to start checking off some more baseball parks off of my list. So yeah, we're heading to Comedy Cabana in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Heading there next. Yeah, enjoy this interview with Joe Barnhold. And maybe something fun will happen at the Braves game. Thanks for watching, y'all.
Oh, Ozuna just ripped one! Yeah!
We are recording, and my hair looks about as good as it's gonna. A B plus. We're giving everything B pluses these days. I'm here with Joe Barnhold. I see now that time I did say it wrong.
It's good. No, Barnhold. You got
Joe
it.
Barnhold.
There's just a couple extra T's on the end.
From Denver, Colorado.
That's right.
Yeah, and we're here in Atlanta.
ATL.
So backstory on how this all came about. So Val quit. Val was a guest on the Derek Luna Show.
I'm going to have to go back and watch the Val episode.
And I've already told Joe that this show is bad. It's a bad show that I do. So we're comfortable.
I'm ready.
Val quit.
Because of the podcast? Because she did the podcast?
She did the podcast. She was like, F this.
Why?
No, she just, like you get tired of any job. Working at the World Series, it is a grind. And so she quit, and we've had all these spaces open, trying to get me some help because I'm the only host left. And we thought instead of hiring a full-time host for the whole season and hiring somebody really fast that you're not exactly sure how it's going to work out, we would do some temporary hosts this season. Just try people out for a week, kind of like people who are already kind of friends of the festival, people who are in the festival. And this week in Atlanta, Joe is our guest host, I guess.
That's right. That's what I've been calling myself as a host. So.
Yeah, it's a hell of a deal. You get a little hosting time. You get to learn the ins and outs of the World Series. And, and they put you up here at the Homewood Suites.
Pretty sweet, I will say.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's like I put this in a category of hotels that are nice, but a little old.
I like that. Yeah, it's fair. The carpet's coming up in little places.
Yeah, I got some chips in the tile.
I got stains on my couch. You can see.
Oh, there's stains.
So, It's the cigarette burn. Was there cigarette burn?
This
on
looks
that?
like a cigarette
And
burn.
so that's they used to allow smoking in these probably.
I don't know if they allowed it, but somebody did do it.
Someone smoked in this room.
Sorry, let me take these Beats off. I've been wearing these Beats.
I thought you were gonna just look cool the whole time.
Yeah, I've been wearing these Beats in an attempt to try to look younger.
I thought you were looking for a sponsorship.
Yeah, not because they're hip and cool, because they cover up my neck skin that I got going
If
on.
you got the wobble, you can
It's
wear
just starting, so
the headphones just pinches it together.
it just kind of covers it up. It's like when an old man wears a scarf,
there you go.
cover up
the
his
jowl.
cover up his giblets or whatever. So Joe's from Denver, and this is the other thing. Joe is a fairly new comic.
Yeah,
You're like a year in.
little over a year, but going.
I didn't
hard
even
in the paint.
I didn't even realize that whenever I asked you to do the podcast.
You know, he's like, man, I got an
A
amateur on
year?
here. What am I doing?
That's so crazy. But you were in a band.
Yeah, did the Denver music scene for 7. We're still technically a band, but we play like once a year nowadays.
I feel like that gives you some points. You know what I mean? Of like,
That's-
what is it? Where your work experience can count towards college
That-
credit.
You know, someone told me comedy is like a high school, and like you work your way up the different like freshman, sophomore, whatever. And he's
little
like,
bit, yeah.
And he's like, you're like a freshman coming in from the arts middle school. And I was like, I like that. And he's like, so
Yeah,
you're really
yeah.
talented in a few classes, but like you don't know anybody.
Yeah, you don't know
So-
anybody. There's some other classes that you're like, okay, I got some catching up to
Gotta
do.
work hard in this one for
sure. And last week was my band's reunion show, so maybe a good transition.
Yeah, yeah.
This is how you go from one to the other a little bit.
Absolutely. Playing with matches, correct?
Yeah, that's right. And shout out to everybody who came out to the show. What a while! I was trying to describe it to Joe. It was like all the emotions that you have during a midlife crisis. We like forced them upon everyone.
That's right. You were like, look at your high school memories and remember how amazing it was back then.
Yeah. It was something else, man.
Take a look at your life now.
It was
Where
a
did you
great
think
week.
you would be?
It was totally wild and a great weekend. It was fun seeing everybody again. I'm trying to switch my brain back to comedy mode, and it's like, oh.
No, I mean, as a musician, I love digging deep. Like I said, we've done almost everything you can do in Denver as like a local band.
Yeah.
We've gotten to play some of the coolest venues, not necessarily the biggest ones, but we did get a chance to play Red Rocks opening for one of the
No
Film on the
way.
Rocks. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And so we, and it's like once you're kind of known in the scene, that's when you get those opportunities. So it was amazing. And
What's the name of the band?
Rocket Surgeons.
Rocket Surgeons.
Yeah, you can find us on Spotify. We've had all
See,
these
even that
random-
name is kind of a joke.
It is. It
Yeah.
is. It's not rocket surgery.
It's
right?
not rocket surgery.
Yeah.
You knew you were heading this way, even back in those days.
It's funny because we changed our name partway through. When we started, we were Filthy T. Which actually funny enough, me and my the guy who started the band were just talking about how ridiculous of a name it was because we had to explain it to people, and it's like an inside joke on an inside joke on an inside joke. And we're like, well, in high school we had this joke rap group called Ill-tastic, and then we shortened it to Ill-T when we talked about it, and then he sent me a file one time that said Filthy Ill-T, and I was like, if you take the ill out, Filthy T's a great band name. And then we started a band, and it's like ridiculousness of that, and going Rocket Surgeons is just easier.
Yeah.
You get it or you don't, or you kind of like, oh, that's a cool name, or you're like a comedian.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, that's funny.
I've heard that, and then I also still have to think about it a second to be like, okay, I understand that.
He's not a rocket scientist.
But then that makes it easy to remember. I think it's like it forces you to think about it for an extra second.
Absolutely, yeah. I feel like it's pretty easy to tell people our band name, and playing with matches is another one where I was like, oh, it clicked instantly.
Yeah, something that just sort of sticks a little bit.
A lot of people tell me
the fellas in the band used to always say that my comedy career started in the band. I would tell jokes to cover the guitarists' tuning, because sometimes they tune and it takes forever, and you're up there on stage and it's starting to get quiet or restless. And we would do a Michael Jackson cover.
Which one?
Beat It.
Oh, dude,
and then I
what a
think
great
Fall Out
song.
Boy did it, I think. And
yeah.
so we stopped doing it.
Did
But
you guys do the
yeah, for sure.
Killer.
I mean, it was like the same cover.
That's great.
But we did it first for like a couple years. And
we did the first cover of it.
But I used to tell Michael Jackson jokes.
Okay.
All the classic like pedophile
That's
jokes.
right. When you
in the in the middle of
I guess you could still make those jokes.
you know
but they're kind of outdated.
what does Michael Jackson have in common with acne?
On the boy's face?
Yeah, they both come on little boys' faces.
The Michael Jackson special, the 6-year-old meet between 20-year-old
yeah. Why did Michael Jackson go to the Gap because he heard little boys' pants were half off? All these classics. We knew even back then. People act like this documentary was a revelation. I was making these very well-known street jokes.
It's like Hannibal Buress making jokes about Bill Cosby before Bill Cosby became Bill Cosby.
Yeah, for sure.
Although we all knew.
There was an inkling.
No one knew about Bill Cosby.
Even less for Michael Jackson,
That's
though.
right,
I mean,
that's
we knew. Like, we knew.
The lawsuits were prevalent.
So yeah, I would tell those jokes, and you could tell. I think the chops were a little bit there already.
Yeah,
just telling Michael Jackson
pulling
jokes.
the mic out of the mic stand.
I had the timing. I knew what I was doing.
That's where every good comedian starts, right? Is like learning the jokes that are of their generation, but telling them the best.
Oh sure, man. Do you have any like street? I call them like bar jokes. Jokes that you would tell to a friend in a bar.
Oh, I have my favorite.
That bartenders know.
Yeah, you want to hear it?
Yes. And I'll tell you mine.
Yeah, okay. So there's a penguin driving down the road, and he hits a pothole, and all of a sudden his car starts steaming, and he's like, oh, shoot, I got to go get it fixed. So he pulls into the mechanic, and the mechanic's like, hey, let me take a look at it, but there's an ice cream shop across the street. Go get yourself some ice cream. He waddles over there, orders vanilla ice cream. And he's trying to eat it, but he's a penguin. So he's got these slumbers, and he's just getting everywhere, and he's really messy, but he waddles back over to the ice cream shop, and as he finishes his cone, and he walks in, and he's like, hey, so what's wrong with my car? And the mechanic goes, oh, well, it looks like you blew a seal. And he goes, no, that's just ice cream. That is my all-time favorite bar joke.
That's great. I've never heard that one. I can't believe that.
I feel like it's a kind of underground enough joke that I'll tell it in a group of 10 people, and there's one person who's like,
I love the classic.
It.
It's like such a long way to go just to get to the punchline of you blew a seal.
And you can add little laughs along the way, like the penguin eating the ice cream is a funny image.
Yeah,
waddling
that's great.
across the street. There's so much you can add as you go, and you can make it very rhythmic while sounding very conversational.
Yeah, it's kind of a paint your own, paint by numbers thing.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not too long.
They tell you to go like red or purple, but you could really do any color you wanted on that.
It'll look really good. And again, it's not too long. I feel like the ones that suffer are the ones where it's like,
oh man,
okay, I've heard the same thing 3 times, and I know you're setting something up big, but like I really don't.
When you stick to the rule of 3, even though you could probably figure out a way around it.
And every one of the ones is like 2 minutes to get to the next one because it's like such a big setup.
Okay, mine is a little long.
No. As I say that, he's.
And I also always would tell it as you just pick anybody. I was like picking my dad for some reason.
All right, I want to hear it.
So my dad was in the military, but he was in the Army Reserves, and for some reason he got tied up into doing parachute training, jumping out of airplanes. And that's the thing is, my dad is deathly afraid of heights, scared to death of heights. So he's telling me the story about jumping out of this airplane, and my dad says, yeah, so we're in the back of the plane, and the drill sergeant is like this huge, scary 6'8" black dude who's just like, I don't want to hear any bullshit. As soon as I say your name, I want you to jump your ass out of this airplane. And Dad's just crapping himself. He's so scared. He's scared of heights, you know? And finally it gets to his name and say, Luna, get your ass out of this plane. He goes, Sergeant, I can't do it, man. I'm too scared. I don't know how I got signed up for this in the first place. I cannot do it. And Sergeant just starts laying into him. God damn it, Luna, I tell you, you get your fucking ass out of this plane right now, or else I'm going to fucking... He's like, Sergeant, I don't care. You can court-martial me. You can do whatever you want. But I'm not jumping out of this airplane. I'm too scared of heights. And they said the drill sergeant got down real close to him. He said, Luna, if you don't get your skinny ass out of this airplane right now, I'm going to stick all 10 inches of this fucking dick up your ass. And I go, fuck, dude. That sounds crazy, Dad. Did you jump? And he goes, yeah, a little bit. He's scared of heights, Joe. He's definitely afraid of heights. It's such a long journey for a rape joke.
Oh my gosh.
I love them. I love bar jokes.
They're good. They're so good when people tell them right.
When you're hanging out at a bar and you ain't got nothing but time on your hands anyway.
As a comedian, that's all we have is lots and lots of time.
Oh, crap.
That's
So anyway, you're only a year in,
That's right. That's right.
but moving pretty fast, I'd say.
Yes, I've been lucky enough to, post divorce, no kids. I know you and I are in the divorce.
Oh, yeah, for
club,
sure.
But no kids, so I have money.
Freedom. You have money. Yeah, I have no money.
A life as an engineer beforehand, so I'm not generationally wealthy. I'm not wealthy by any means, but I sold a house with my ex-wife and had some money to be able to
Bragging over here.
Yeah. Well, now I need a job. So if anybody's hiring, because now I'm a year out and everybody's like, "What have you been doing? Making people
Oh,
laugh?"
yeah.
Oh, that's.
Oh man,
feel like there's
I
a gap in
forget
my
when it
resume right
was
now.
when my gap got so far that it's like, look, dude, there's no turning back. You didn't really have much of anything to begin with.
But I
you know?
will admit, I hit apply on a job where I have a friend like connection, and the second I hit apply, I went, I don't want to do that. I think I'm gonna figure this out.
Yeah.
And I think I'm gonna be the person who this is the highs and the lows.
Yeah, I mean, if
You were saying.
if you wanna if you get used to not having money would be a thing I would say. You want to really dive in and do comedy full time. Figure out how to be happy with no money.
with a lot less.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but
That's a good thing in itself too, just
Yeah.
mentally, I think sometimes.
Yeah. So, but being lucky enough to do that has allowed me to treat it like I'm in school, in college. I'm getting on the road. I'm living in Austin for 4 months this winter before going back to Denver.
Yeah.
I'm, immersed in every scene I've been in and really trying to just, learn as much as I can as quick as
Yeah.
I can. And
Hanging out at the World Series of Comedy.
that's right. Make the right connections.
Always always a good thing.
It's really good. Man, you meet so many different comedians from all over.
Yeah.
I feel like I have like the speckle of the United States right now where I could just bug people. And
That was one of the first things I said when I started hanging around the World Series of Comedy was like, I didn't really realize how many different ways there were to do this.
oh my gosh.
There's lots
It's-
of different types of comedy going on. Even some stuff that like I probably wouldn't be great at. Like when we were in Sarasota, a couple of the comedians who are a little bit older were talking about the nursing home circuit. Wow. Where there's this whole thing of good paying gigs at nursing homes.
A bunch of boomers who grew up with Richard Pryor and
Yeah, and these people are like, I have jokes that are just
Steve
like
Martin
perfect for this.
and
That
pull out your banjo and
Yeah. I mean, like stuff like that where it's just like, I didn't really realize that was a whole thing that was, it's probably going on every once in a while, but that it was a whole deal. There's a whole like thing.
I mean, they have budgets and they need to entertain folks on a Wednesday night during dinner and
Yeah, college circuit. I didn't realize how big that
Oh
whole
my
thing
gosh, I
was.
saw
You knew it was a
so
big
many-
deal,
well,
but like,
oh man, I saw so many cool acts in college that were like Daniel Tosh. I saw multiple times
yeah.
on small stages just at my college.
Yeah, I saw
great-
Zach Galifianakis and who else? Yeah, those are good gigs too, and they pay really well.
So awesome.
Yeah, you start meeting some of these people at like the World Series finals and stuff. I mean, I've been working really hard trying to put together all the stuff to get on cruise lines.
Are you trying to do the cruise circuit?
I think I am.
I think you'd crush the cruise circuit.
I mean, yeah, if your act is, works that way.
Yeah. Oh man, that's awesome.
I'm just trying to get together the tapes and stuff to submit to it. I mean, and who knows, I might try it and hate it.
Yeah.
And hate the crowds
I
that
think
are
you'd
there and
crush in the
stuff.
college circuit.
But I typically will like stuff that other comics hate. So
Yeah. Okay.
some people like hate touristy crowds. Like I love a touristy crowd.
Yeah.
Like
No, I feel
who's
like
just wandering in, like the crowd in Vegas
Yeah.
when we do the finals. Like I love it. They're from everywhere. They kind of halfway don't give a shit about the show. They got like free tickets from somewhere.
Joe's out there.
They're like,
barking.
I feel like pressure's on. Like if the show's not good, they might walk out.
That's
Like
so
when you play some of these
interesting.
places in Florida and stuff. Like
That's so good. Yeah,
you better bring it because they could go do something else.
That's right.
Like,
That's right. I mean, anywhere there's people, there's a chance to bring in people. And
Yeah.
entertain and make them laugh. And comedy's just becoming such a big consumer thing too. They're doing so many of the specials, and I feel like everyone's like on YouTube, and it's really accessible.
Yeah.
And so people watch comedians. Maybe like watching Josh Johnson just to get your political updates and learn a little bit about what's going on in the world.
It's making people more savvy too.
Yeah, absolutely.
You really have to do a little extra work to sneak up on people.
Totally.
And I know I'm not the best example a lot of times.
I mean, no,
but
I feel like, hey, again, I don't want to blow smoke. This is your show, so I feel like I can.
I can tell people I'm the best.
I can pad your ego, but it's like you were fantastic.
There's only a handful of people who watch this, and most of them are my mom.
Oh, hi
Mom.
17 views, 15 of them coming from one IP
She's
address.
a fan, dude. She's a fan.
Oh.
What else? Denver. I'm excited for you.
Yeah,
I'm
you done
excited
much-
when I see somebody early on making good moves, because it's like stuff I didn't do when I was first starting out.
Yeah,
I'm like, that's a smart move to try to learn doing this way.
I
and that way.
appreciate it. Again, very lucky to be in the position I'm in, but I feel like I'm applying a lot of like the learning I did as an engineer, and being very calculated in everything that I'm like doing with my time, understanding that it's a creative pursuit, but it's like networking and meeting the right people and learning. Being in the music industry for as long as I was helped a lot, because it was do you notice that one of the biggest differences is like the music industry isn't run by musicians? It's like promoters and club owners are not, hall owners.
It's a harder thing nobody knows how to do.
That's right. And so, but everything in the comedy world is run by comedians.
Yeah.
And so meeting comedians, getting to know comedians, it's so much different than going and like playing a gig with these people that you never talk to in the other
Well,
bands.
there are some bookers who, but even them, a lot of them used to do comedy.
Exactly right.
You
They're
get into
connected.
situations like that, yeah. I think it's just because playing an instrument is like a weirdly technical thing to do, and everybody could possibly feel that they're funny.
Yeah, that's it. The barrier to entry between
barrier for entry.
Being on stage as a musician is a lot higher.
Yeah,
than writing your name on a list.
You can't get up there with a tuba or something and be like, "Hey, y'all."
It's not like you're watching a band on stage and then your friend is like, "Hey, I bet you could do that. Go put your name on the list.
Nobody.
Go sign up."
More rare. You're right.
But literally, like night of decision to go up on stage as a comedian.
Yeah,
that would never happen if you've never picked up a guitar.
Yeah. Although that'd be fun to watch.
I guess some people do it with singing, with karaoke.
Karaoke, I guess. That's how you get. But then, I bet if you own a karaoke bar, I bet you love doing karaoke.
Either that, or you're like a aspiring singer looking for stage time.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, that is interesting. I never really thought about that, but that is true.
I mean, I feel like
it's rare that there's a musician who's like promoting or running a club or something.
Exactly right. It's a very different world. And so that's helped me. That was the biggest misunderstanding I probably had coming into this, is I was like, who do I need to talk to? And everyone was like, what do you mean? There's just like us.
We're right here.
And I was like, oh, okay. Well, I guess I should show up to these open mics just so I'm your buddy. Like, I get to know you and I get to like hang out with you guys. And that's so different than being in the music industry, where it's like, again, you have your band. And you'll meet other bands, and you network.
Yeah, this is the big difference. I said that I was like, in a band, you took all your buddies somewhere and threw a party.
Yep.
And with comedy, you go somewhere and your friends are there. Like you're going to meet some other people.
That's my buddy. That's all these comedians are my buddies now.
So in that way, being in a band is a little bit insular, where it's like, this is our clan, and but you can't be that way.
No,
with jokes. I feel like you got to be out talking to people and meeting friends, and
I think that's why there's such a better understanding between like headliner comedians and openers compared to headliner bands and their openers. Like if you're a local opener for a band, you may never see the other band you're playing with. They hang out in the green room, they shut the door, they hang out on their tour bus, they do whatever. That you always see comedians being like, I'm backstage with Mark Norman and he's like talking to me and chilling and hanging out. And like
I get when I'm at my local club, the headliners sometimes think I'm weird because I smoke cigarettes so much that I don't hang out in the green room. I hang out by the dumpster out back, and I've had it happen a couple times where they think I'm like avoiding them or I don't
really?
like them or something.
Yeah,
And I'm like, dude, it's just this weird addiction, and I'm nervous before a show,
Well,
so I'm
that's-
just huffing
that's
darts.
crazy that a headliner would think that way because again, most musicians would be like, "Good, don't
Good, keep out,
Still-
yeah. But then,
go
meanwhile,
behind
like
the dumpster."
Kevin Nealon's backstage, like, why isn't anybody talking
Why-
to me?
I wanna
Are you
hang
gonna
out with
show me
Derek.
around,
Hey,
or
Derek, what's going on?
Yeah.
So, it's cool. It's cool. I love it. I love the community.
Yeah, it's a different
it's
vibe.
Very awesome. And
I opened for Tim Meadows. And,
Did you really?
And yeah, I've done it twice now, I think.
The ladies' man.
The Ladies Man.
No
yeah.
joke.
And I remember the first time I totally ruined it because I was driving him back to his hotel room like in between shows. He just needed to grab something. And for a split second, we were co-workers. We were talking about the crowd, and he's like, yeah, I feel like that table to the right. I was like, yeah, I tried to shut him down a little bit, but, man, she was just a little bit too – she had the one extra drink too much, and we laughed about something, and I was like, I'm co-workers for a split second. And then I forget how it changed to it, and I go, man, The Ladies Man is one of my favorite movies.
No. Oh, no. Oh,
And you
no.
can see his face
Oh,
just get turned to
no.
disappointment where he's just like, man, felt like I had a buddy there for a
God
second.
dang it.
And now I'm in a car with a
He
fan.
fanboyed on me.
I did.
Oh,
It sucked.
that does suck. That sucks.
Tim Meadows, if you're watching.
If you're one of the 17 views of this.
Tim Meadows, if you're watching this, if you somehow came across it, give me another chance, brother. Let's be friends.
I won't refer to you as the ladies' man.
I won't be
It's funny because I literally you went Tim Meadows and I went the ladies' man.
I won't be a fan of anything you've ever done.
I fanboyed as well. So he's so talented.
He was on an episode of The Detroiters recently. That
Oh,
cracked,
was
I don't know
he
if it was
really?
recently,
Okay.
but
That's
cracked me
great.
up.
Oh my god.
He's funny in everything he does.
top
Any
tier.
crap.
Top tier.
What are we at? You want to do 10 bad questions?
Yeah, we can hop in there.
And we'll wrap it up.
Yeah, whatever you want to
This
do.
is-
Your show.
This segment's called Hotel Coffee.
Hotel Coffee.
He already finished. Joe already finished his
I would
coffee.
have grabbed one if I knew the segment was called
Hotel
Hotel
Coffee. It's not. I don't know. I'll decide later to not call it Hotel
That's
Coffee.
right. You'll call it something else. So I
a
did
bad
drink
show.
my hotel coffee.
It's a bad
prior
show.
to it. So
Always has been, always will
I
be.
love it. I
And
love it.
and including not having my 10 questions list.
you're missing one.
So
I
I'm
do
missing
notice
one
that.
question, which we'll make up a question.
I like it. I like that you're on the. We'll do it live.
Yeah, who cares?
It's a bad show.
Whatever I did have was a
I
bad
think
question
I actually
anyway.
I think this has been pretty fun.
Yeah,
I think we
right?
hit some good topics. I
I'm
wouldn't call
leaning
it
so
bad.
hard into being bad that it's turning the corner.
That's kind of.
and it's actually becoming kind of
There's
charmingly.
something to that. There's something
Yeah.
to that.
I'm doing the same thing at the end where I'm like and subscribe. Or honestly, like, don't tell anybody about
Probably
it.
shouldn't.
I'm having fun, just me and you. So who gives a shit?
This is our club.
Yeah.
Thanks for inviting
And if
me
you're
in.
watching and you're kind of like on the fence about it, don't come back next week. Don't
We
check it out
we
next
don't
week.
Want you.
Yeah.
We don't want you at all.
Don't check it out. And don't tell
Line
your
in the-
friends about
line
it.
in the sand. I don't even need you here. This is my clique.
Yeah. It was cooler before you got here. Anyway, 10 bad questions. These questions are bad. This is Joe Barnholt. He agreed to do this.
I did.
Question 1, where can we find you on Instagram so I can put it on a thing right here, maybe?
At Sloppy Joe Comedy.
Sloppy Joe Comedy
I hope I went
at
the right direction. At Sloppy
at
Joe
Sloppy Joe
Comedy.
Comedy. I'll probably
You'll get it
not.
both
I'll
ways.
probably not put it up at
You can
all,
clip
actually.
either one. I was like, you can clip it either way, and then you're just like, I'm not even gonna edit it.
I probably. Sometimes I forget to do it. Question 2, if you were king of the whole world, what's something fun that you would force people to do?
Oh my
So
god!
you see the concept. It's fun,
But you have to do
but
it.
you have to do it to the point where it's probably going to get tedious at some point.
I think I'm bought into the if I'm king, I want to lean into the king thing first of all, and I want to lean into the comedy thing. So jesters, citywide jesters that walk the streets with their jingles. We'll
Yeah.
make sure that it's within reasonable hours. I don't want to wake people up. I'm a man of
You can't be
community.
reasonable about it.
I'm a man of community, at least. I'm a king of community. But I think jesters and anytime a jester is walking down the street, you have to acknowledge the jester.
Oh, see, yeah. People would get tired of this real fast.
The jesters themselves would be like ignorable. And
I
stuff
saw
like
a thing
it's
about
like
jesters.
I think it's like, there's a guy that juggles in Denver. He's a homeless man and he juggles. And I'm like, that's great, but you don't have to acknowledge him. Imagine you had to wave at him.
You'd be like,
have to
hey.
wave. You have to roll down your window and wave. Unless the weather's bad, in which case you can wave through your windshield.
Yeah.
There's a requirement. There's a camera at every intersection that captures this.
That would be fun at first.
So tell me what you're
and
talking
then
about.
you would hate it.
Tell me about jesters.
Oh, I saw this documentary about jesters.
Comedy's been around for a long time.
Yeah, I guess so. That doesn't always work out well for jesters. They sometimes get axed.
Yeah, it's called bombing nowadays, but imagine it was the death
Yeah,
penalty.
imagine you
did
got
that.
murdered. But I don't know. Some of these jesters are really taking some liberties. I mean, this is the king. You got to remember. You can't just go slapping him on the ass and stuff.
I'm going to call this back. There'd be a lot less open micers if there was a severe punishment for bombing.
Yeah.
Because it wouldn't be like, you wouldn't be put to death unless you said something terrible. But if you had a bad set, it's like, we'll put you in the stockades for an hour.
Oh, yeah. And then there was some where it was like, this was so bad.
Yeah.
We're going to.
Yeah.
I don't know, though.
That was when they made
I
fun
gotta
of, like,
say, some of my favorite dudes, I've seen them start out as just like, it felt like a baby
Totally
holding a
right.
revolver, where it's like, oh my god, this could go off at any moment.
But I feel like that's okay, because if you're like, I'm okay with an hour in the stockades for this,
Yeah.
then it's a commitment. It's at that point in time, it's not like your buddy's like, hey, I bet you could do that. You're like, no, I don't want to end up in the stockade.
You're right. Yeah.
Again, I think this is how you build a barrier to entry. is you do a little bit of gesture.
I think it's a bad idea, but I do think it would work.
So that's what I would do as king. And that's to get to the jester point, you have to go through the
You
stockade
gotta
thing.
spend some nights in the stocks.
Because it'd be nice. Imagine if you're a comedian who gets acknowledged everywhere they go. That's what every comedian would want.
Yeah, and then the comic sitting in the stocks making jokes about
You
being.
can throw tomatoes at. This is. I'm building the Renaissance Fair. Is what I'm doing.
My friends told me I should get into the stocks. Didn't know they were talking about this.
Classic jester.
Oh, they meant money.
Then why am I doing comedy? Oh.
Question 3. If you were a time-traveling tourist, what time would you travel to just take a peek around? And you get immunity from, like, smallpox and all sorts of stuff that you...
And so time traveling.
Old-timey diseases.
I can go to the future, correct?
You could.
Okay, I'm definitely choosing the future.
Ooh, that's so scary to me.
No, I don't want to look back.
You're the second or third person in a row who said they wanted to go to the future, and I'm like, well, how do you know it's even going to be there?
You're right. I could. There's you pop in and it's like everything's nuclear winter.
Yeah,
and
it could be bad.
It could be, but I feel like history is always like glorified, and so you go back and it's like, oh yeah, this is boring and not as cool, and actually pretty much like today. Or if you go too far back, it's like we don't have plumbing.
Yeah, for sure.
And so I do think in the future, it's like I'm curious. I'm curious about. I wouldn't do like 100 years. I'd do the Philip J. Fry Futurama thing and go to like the year 3000.
Oh, that's wild to me.
I think that's.
I don't think Earth would be around.
You might be humanity maybe on its last leg.
I'd have to make sure that the time machine would still work. You know what I mean? If there wasn't a planet to.
But we've been around for thousands of years. I would hope we'd be around for 1,000 more.
Maybe.
And think of the year 1000 compared to the year 2000, and then think of the technological gains from like the last 50 years, and that's like exponential growth right now.
I don't know, man.
AI, we may be hailing AI overlords in the year 3000.
You're more optimistic about this than I am.
I'm pretty optimistic about the future.
I think this could all fall apart tomorrow, maybe.
You have a child, so you think that way for like the.
It could
the
possibly.
future. And I'm like, oh no, the future's bright.
So Joe's going to the future, bright future.
And I'll even pick a specific. I'll just choose the year 3000 because I feel it's like we were celebrating the millennia, and so. Whether humanity was united is questionable, but we were at least all collectively celebrating a thing, going into a new millennia, and so doing that again would be really fun.
The year 3000.
Yeah.
Question 4: what's your favorite flavor of ice cream?
Rocky Road.
Ooh, me too.
Marshmallows. I love marshmallows and chocolate. I
me
think
too.
That's the best combination.
I've gone to fancy ice cream places and made them make me Rocky Road.
Really?
They're like,
Really?
we got all these cookies and stuff, and I'm like, put marshmallows and almonds in it.
You go to Cold Stone
please.
and go, make me Rocky Road.
Yeah. Almonds and marshmallows, please.
That's great.
And they're like, this guy.
Almonds is one of the best nuts. Chocolate is one of the best flavors.
Yeah.
And marshmallows is the best addition to chocolate.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
no
a win.
candy, none of that.
Yeah,
They're
no,
like,
I don't-
you want some s'mores bars?
Yeah.
You want some almond joys in there?
I do love things like fish food or the moose tracks where you get the little like chocolates with caramel or peanut butter in them. But if you give me a choice, Rocky Road all day.
I wonder if you asked them to spit on it at Cold Stone, if they would. Do they have to do whatever you say?
I think there's a health code violation in there. But
Last thing, hawk one on there, will
the
you?
Hawk 2. I want the Hawk 2 a topping.
Just hawk one up on there.
That's how you get that.
Question 5. You're on a desert island. You get to pick 5 movies. What are those 5 movies?
5 movies. Malibu's Most Wanted.
No way.
Swear to goodness. That movie shaped me.
I opened up for Jamie Kennedy.
That movie shaped me.
Opening up for Jamie Kennedy might have been my rock bottom.
No.
It was New Year's Eve,
Was
and
it
I
post-
passed out on
Was
stage.
it post X? That was the X show that. Like personally.
Oh yeah, from alcoholism. Yeah.
That's a great joke. Opening for Jamie because it's like.
Oh, no.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, no.
I was like, I love Jamie Kennedy. I thought that was a joke.
I would never
about
be
it.
that shitty to
That's
Jamie
so
Kennedy.
funny. I thought you were making a joke about
No,
Jamie
that was
Kennedy.
my rock bottom
That's
because I was so
literally
drunk I passed out on stage.
That was such a mind.
And Jamie
twist.
Kennedy, to his credit, was just like, what is going on? He wasn't even terribly mad. It was New Year's Eve. Oh man,
That was the best misdirection ever, and I don't think it was intentional.
no.
'Cause
You thought I was being shitty
I
to
thought-
Jamie Kennedy.
I thought it was like. I figured if you opened for him, you were friends with him, or it was like you have
No, I was just working at the club.
A reverence for you, or appreciation.
No, I just worked at the
Just
club.
worked at the club. That's fantastic. No,
Malibu's Most Wanted. Sorry, I didn't mean to
No,
distract you.
Malibu's Most Wanted.
Every time I think Jamie Kennedy, I think about my rock bottom. It's just like,
So
man, that was
funny.
sad. That was sad. It was a sad night
I'd
for me.
We're gonna have more discussions about this later because I'm very curious about the details. Slumdog Millionaire.
Okay.
Uh,
This is a weird list, Joe. I got to tell you.
The Shawshank Redemption, and not just because I heard it when you were playing another one, but that's such a good movie.
Every white guy has Shawshank
it's
Redemption on his
so
list.
good.
Is it because of the prison rape? That's why I keep coming back. Those sisters. I could be a friend to you.
We all love Morgan Freeman.
That was a joke I said I had one point was the Shawshank Redemption game where you sit at a party and you try to cast like if this were the movie, who would all the characters
that's
be?
That's so unfair to the black guy because he's
Sure,
obviously
yeah.
Morgan Freeman.
They made a fun crowd work thing.
What
Like,
if
it'd be
there's
like,
two? How
like
do
it's
you-
fun here.
you
Like
have
this
to-
guy,
you
I'm
have
getting
to-
some major Andy Dufresne
Yeah,
vibes from this
okay.
guy. Obviously, this guy's gonna play red.
That's
Sorry,
the-
we just
yeah.
got one of you.
That's right.
And then I go, every time I play this game, they always put me as the guy who says, I could be a friend to you. The rapist.
You really do.
We all need a
my
friend in
God.
here.
Who would I be? The guy who's tried to snitch on the other guy and they got shot by the warden? The guy with the slick back
No,
hair?
you're the.
Or am I the warden?
No, you're the good kid who tries to work hard and get out, and then
yeah.
they shoot him. Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
yeah, that's definitely
That's
you.
what I was feeling that you were like
That's
the characters. I was
definitely
like,
you.
I'm feeling that vibe.
Yeah, it's definitely
Feeling
you.
that
I think
vibe.
his name was Joe too.
That's great. Oh,
So that's 3.
Okay, 3, and then 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Ooh, that's a great one.
That's one of my favorite comedy movies, and then The Jerk.
Oh, you got me there. I think The Jerk might be on my list.
Yeah,
I love The Jerk.
My sister and my cousin just started a text thread where it was like millennials all have those movies that like you're strangely connected to because it was one of the few VHSs that you had in the house.
The Jerk.
And The Jerk was that was always.
I'd
on.
love to have a
I was
VHS
born
of The Jerk.
a poor black child.
So great.
It's classic.
He hates these
He
kids.
hates these kids. And so it's like just the right amount of like written humor and absurdist humor and
Yeah.
I just this thermos and my dog. I don't need my dog.
Yeah. It just keeps going. There's tons of stuff in there that's just like, I can't believe they let him do this as a movie.
It's fantastic.
That there were people in charge with money who were like, "All right, Steve, we'll let you do this."
That's right. I mean, it was ridiculous. And then again, there was like the really well.
He's wearing the hat with the
Mr.
huge
Mr.
feather on it.
Mr. Newspaw.
Not you, dumbass.
Mrs. Newspaw. That's Mrs.
Or Dipshit. That was his.
Mr.
Was that his
Newspaw.
dog's
Mrs.
name? Dipshit.
Dipshit. Yeah.
So good.
No, shithead.
Shithead. That's it. Not you, shithead. Question 6.
Cat juggling. Sorry.
We could talk about the
Oh my
jerk
God.
all day. Favorite performance space? I have a feeling I know it's going to be Red Rocks, right?
Yeah, there's nothing that beats the experience. Funny enough, I didn't have a great show. I played okay, but one of my cables cut out partway through the show, and I had to like flip it out on the fly. But it's kind of cool. I got to flex being a professional and do it while the band's doing it, and
You're like no big
not
deal.
really ruin anything.
No
for
big
it,
deal.
but,
Just doing this at Red Rocks. No big
but
deal.
it's a top 3 music venue in the world.
Yeah.
and you can't.
How you going to top that?
Yeah.
Do you have any performance, like maybe comedic performance spaces that are like bucket list? Like I'd love to.
Oh.
This is always a 2-part question. Someday I'm going to be on this stage.
Funny enough, I feel like I'm being a relatively new comedian. Actually, I've been able to perform on some fun stages, just like doing bucket pull shows on Monday. I got
Yeah.
to do the Comedy Store. I've done the Laugh Factory in Chicago. I have done. I got on Kill Tony. I got to do the Mothership, and it's like all these places that you kind of hear about as like the bread and butter of it. I don't know that I've heard. I want to still do the classic like the Cellar and.
Yeah.
I feel like anytime I see something that's like in every video,
I think the
just
Cellar
like,
might be the last one that I've not been at least.
Yeah. I'd love to do that one. And so I think when you see those places, like Denver has Comedy Works, and you see that in the background of a ton of people's clips or people shoot specials there. I think it's like there's just those hollowed grounds of comedy, and I'm probably being new a pretty touristy guy in that, where it's like, oh yeah, I want to do all the classics. I want to do the one that was founded by the famous people.
That's not a bad thing, right?
I want to do this and that. And
it makes you feel like you're on the right track if you're in the right spaces at least, right?
And yeah, like would it be awesome to do Madison Square Garden or
hell.
Oh, amazing. Or like actually it would be amazing. I think an ultimate achievement for me, the pie in the sky would be like doing Red Rocks as a comedian. Because they do that. Brian Regan
Every
was
once
the guy
in a
who
while.
kind of like originally he sold it.
There's
out
a handful of buddies of friends of mine that they're starting to do comedy at the Grand Old Opry.
Oh, that's amazing.
And I'm
That's
like, man,
amazing.
that would be something else.
So I think those are that'd be the
Question 7. What's the most annoying thing?
Oh man, liars.
Liars.
That's very either that or people who don't give you the wave.
UGD liars.
Either that or the people who don't give you the wave when you let them in traffic. You
You need the
asshole.
wave? Man, I can feel that
want
energy.
it.
Sometimes my hands are full because I'm smoking a cigarette
Give
and
me a nod. Give
and
me a
changing the channel on
Give me a
the
nod.
on the phone.
We've lost
and I'm doing 8 things with my hands.
We've lost so much decency, and I'm not saying it's only because of the car, but a lot of it is because of the car. You spend so much time in the car, and you dehumanize people. They are this mechanical box on the road, and being able to note, hey, there's a human behind me who
Guilty as charged.
took a moment to hit the brake and
Give you the wave.
allow me to do it. Just give me a quick. You can even do it like half-assedly. I don't even care. Just give me some sort of acknowledgement.
I like the deuces, but sometimes people just see fingers and they get upset. I need to give the wave, people.
And you know what? I say all this, and then I realize the most annoying thing in the world is when people put fruit on chocolate stuff. Sorry.
Everybody always changes at the last minute.
Well, I have a big rule about it and a whole rant about it. And
Fruit
I just
and
talked about the
chocolate?
wave thing. Yeah, if I order chocolate cake, I don't want anything healthy in it. Don't give that raspberry filling. You can chocolate fruit, like chocolate-covered strawberries is okay. Strawberry
But
is the
don't
base.
fruit your chocolate.
But don't fruit your chocolate. That's
Don't
exactly.
fruit your
that's
chocolate.
everyone who knows me closely has heard that rant.
Okay.
Because I will go on it every time I get a dessert menu.
I'd have to investigate further, but tentatively, I agree with you.
Okay.
Question 8: snakes or spiders? I think this is technically question 9.
Is it what I would prefer?
So totally open-ended.
I don't like snakes.
That's the beauty of the question.
I don't love spiders, but I don't.
Do you see how smart it is to word a question that way?
It's so good.
Like question 9: snakes or spiders?
Because it's like, are they fighting? Are they? No. So
just talk to me.
Yeah, I love it. No. So I'm going with spiders. Put me in a room full of spiders. Or supposed
Nobody said that was going to happen, but
snakes.
okay. Joe says you heard it here first. Put Joe in a room full of spiders,
I think
please.
This is like a game show where they're like, there's a picture of a snake and a picture of a spider, and it's like I'm going to walk into one of these.
I think it just gets people talking.
Yeah. But
I'm like, I got spiders living in my car with me. It's no big deal.
In a fight, I think snakes win all day.
If there was a snake in there, though, I'd be doing something.
That's right. Exactly right. That's exactly right. No snakes I'm afraid of.
I don't see a snake in my car, and I'm like, well, they're keeping the mice out. But I do feel that way about spiders.
No
for
one's
some
happy
reason.
about that thing slinking around.
I do feel that way about spiders in my car.
Is that but is that just spider PR? Do we need better snake PR where it's like, no?
But I feel that way about snakes in a yard.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't feel that way about a snake in my car.
That's true. You can live with the
Well,
spider.
they're keeping the rats down, at least. I got like a 6-foot black snake living in my car, like a king snake.
Not gonna. Yeah, that's not.
Do you have a pet snake? No. He's just.
I just let it hang out.
He just showed up one day and he ain't left yet.
That's right. I think he keeps the mosquitoes away.
I think he's keeping the rats down. Okay. I think we just worked out more of my animals living in my car bed.
This is so good.
Last question 10, and this is where you're allowed to get a little mushy. What's your favorite thing about comedy? I hate when we put comedy on a pedestal just because, it's comedy. Come on.
Yeah.
We're just telling fart jokes and stuff. Yeah. But what's your favorite thing about comedy?
Gosh, I feel like this is such a cheap answer, but it's like genuinely making people laugh. And I don't just say that because it's fun to make people laugh. I've diffused situations in my life by making people laugh.
Oh, yeah.
I've played mediator in big moments in life for friends and family.
Where it's getting tense.
By being the comedic relief.
That's the best time to be funny.
And it's like I think if people know you and people are aware of that, then it's like they are very open to comedy in that moment. And it's like you can there's appropriate times. I wouldn't do it in the middle of someone's speech at a funeral, but like when you're summing things up, and I've written some of the best comedy material when it's been for people I love. The best thing I've ever written in my life was my sister's wedding speech, and I watch it once a month and I cry, and it's amazing because it's I wrote that for something so. I wrote that for people, and I wrote it to make people laugh and make people cry and make people think. And it's I can tell these great stories about our life and who she's becoming through the lens of comedy and the lens of making people laugh. And I had people come up to me, and I feel like I'm getting mushy. I don't feel like I've ever talked about this in this deep of a way, other than maybe with my sister. But it's just doing that and knowing that I did that intentionally. It was I want to tell the stories and make people laugh. I say in the beginning, welcome to the Joe Barnholt Comedy Hour. This was before I was a comedian. Yeah. And I think it's one of the most rhythmic sets I've ever had. It's I practiced it to the nines, and
this had an effect on you.
It probably is what really made me be I could do comedy. Someone told me I'm funny and write
you
your
had
name
proof
on a
of
list.
concept.
I went, I can command a room.
Yeah.
With laughter. And it was powerful. It was a powerful moment in my life, and I feel making people laugh in any given moment, whether it's happiness, sadness, coworkers, friends, family. I loved being comedic relief in my meetings. I was a project manager because I loved kind of guiding the team and being able to crack jokes once in a while. And
I love that you mentioned when things are getting tense and people are ready to fight.
Yeah, no,
I love being able to drop a bomb there. I had two buddies that were arguing over something that was real dumb and stupid, and I interrupted them by going, "No, I'm gay."
That's so good.
And they still had to hash out what they were talking about, but it just took the edge off.
Yeah, of course.
Because it was about to get to this next level. I was like, we're not doing that.
Yeah. Two of the people that I probably love making laugh the most, again, my sister and my dad. And it's probably because I was in college when my sister was in high school, and it's like a teenage girl
Yeah.
and her father, and I remember coming home and it would like they would be just like you could feel the tension, and I'd be like cracking jokes and trying to make them break, and I feel like I was a really good force in their life at that moment, and I look back at that as like, I was probably a little bit of a shithead at times with them and cracking jokes when I shouldn't have, but
you'd rather have it than not.
yeah, I was like
I spent some time in my life being a miserable curmudgeon, and it's not. Nobody wants that guy to even be around.
No, yeah, and I feel like it's. I've always loved that being the forever optimist, as we were talking.
Go have some fun. Why?
I'm all about it, and I'm sure when I have a little bit more life experience and it hits me in the face, I might question that. Question it a few times. But
yeah.
I like being that force in other people's lives. I think that's more important to me than like I need to be optimistic for myself.
Life's great. Enjoy it.
Yeah, totally.
Even the bad stuff can be pretty good.
Oh, man, you can
if
get a
you're
lot.
Looking at
you
it
can get
right.
a lot out of it. You can get a lot out of it. I'm very practical.
A lot of material sometimes.
That's right. There's that Dougie last night talking about his
wife. He's a widower,
and that's what a powerful tool to like reflect on something that is so tragic.
I've watched it happen in this last couple of years. I've been watching Dougie. It's crazy.
It was like
crazy awesome.
It was like he started talking about it. I was like, damn, this is real. This is like I do joke. I had another comedian talk about like there's storytelling comedy and then there's jokey joke comedy, and I do a lot of jokey joke comedy, and I do a lot of like one-line setups to one-liner bits, even if it's about me. But like then there's people who are like they can be funny and write those jokes about like really deep stuff.
Yeah, I mean
powerful.
It's crazy deep the stuff that he's talking about,
cool.
And it's so funny.
It's so funny,
and you could tell. I could totally tell. I mean, this is helping him heal. This is helping him still stay connected because he's still talking about it on stage.
Yeah.
Like, just good all around and powerful to watch, too.
And so having those moments in my life and just like making people laugh, but I think it's so much deeper than that. It's being able to use that laughter as a tool. And being able to be funny in a way that makes people feel comfortable about your humor, like understanding a room, knowing the difference between joking with your friends and joking with your family and your coworkers, and being able to put on all those hats but always be the jester. I kind of love it.
And fart jokes. That's the end of us taking comedy super seriously.
Fuck, man, I can't believe that happened. Did not expect to shed tears on the Derek Luna.
I try not to do it, but every once in a while you do have to step back and be like, this is pretty cool. And
I thought these questions were bad questions.
And people do really like need it, I feel like, in their lives.
I feel like that was a good moment. I needed that.
But also farts. Let's not lose track of the fartiness.
Cum jokes.
Yeah, that's my that's my daughter's first joke, I think, is that I think she pooped, and I said, "Did you poop?" And she goes, "I pooped." And I open up her diaper, and there's nothing in it. And she goes,
"What a misdirection!"
And she looks at me and goes, "I farted."
That's great comedy.
Yeah,
that's great comedy. That's
it was a left turn. I was expecting poop.
Classic comedy is.
And to hear her cute voice go, "I farted." Well, Joe, thanks for doing this. Thanks for being on the Derek Luna Show here at the beautiful, luxurious Homewood Suites and Inns in Atlanta, Georgia. When are we going to see you next down the road?
I'm going to be in the World Series of Comedy in Atlanta this week and weekend.
For sure. Are you going to the Cabana, or are we going to see you out west?
No, you're going to see me out west. I'm hoping to do Sacramento and or Tacoma.
Sacktown.
Actually, Tacoma's probably the higher priority there. I got some shows in Portland before or just after.
I need to bother you. I'll be passing through Denver on the way out there and on the way back.
Yes,
I'm trying to line some stuff
up.
up.
Give me the dates, and I think that's one thing that I've realized is I'm meeting a lot of great comedians, and they're like, I'm coming through Denver, and I'm like, I'm pretty good in the Denver scene, but I'm not like the seasoned vet, and so I'm going to get people connected as much as I can. I'm always handing people off, but I feel like I'm still.
Oh shit! I just want to be.
I don't have the power. The sway
I just want to know. I don't need favors. I just want to know who to email.
I'll let you know.
You're like, go bother that guy.
And I can always do that.
Well, thanks for doing this, man.
This
and
was so
fun. Fun weekend, and we'll see you down the line.
Heck yeah, appreciate you, Derek.
So there it is. There it was. Thanks for checking out the episode. Hope you enjoyed this interview with Joe Barnhold. We're off to Myrtle Beach, y'all. We'll see you next week.